19-year-old lefty Alex Eala from the Philippines could be the next big thing in pro tennis.
This is the goal.
My goal is to be able to integrate myself into the WTA circuit more and to be able to handle myself better on court.
Bolted into the spotlight last month after making the semifinals at one of the biggest pro tennis tournaments in the world.
At this very moment, Court 6 at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden is packed with energy and excitement as fans crowd around to watch 19-year-old Alex Eala, creating a level of hype that even experienced observers find surprising. Former ATP player Christopher Eubanks, who has seen many intense tennis crowds during his career, said on a broadcast that tournament organizers should seriously consider moving her matches to a larger court because the number of fans gathering is becoming a real safety concern. This growing excitement isn't something that started in California. Just 2 weeks earlier at the Dubai Tennis Championships, tournament director Salah Talik revealed that every match featuring Eala was completely sold out. That wave of enthusiasm has clearly traveled with her to Indian Wells. The venue has seen some of the greatest moments in tennis history, with legends like Steffi Graf achieving the famous Sunshine Double, Serena Williams dominating the desert courts, and Martina Navratilova winning back-to-back titles there at ages 33 and 34. Now Navratilova is watching Eala's rapid rise from the sidelines, and her recent comments about the young star on the Women's Tennis Association platforms surprised many people across the tennis world.
It's hard to imagine that now because we're so far removed from it that it's almost hard to say I want to be number one. Little did I know that I would, 100%. I think sports has always been on the front of social change and social progress.
If Eala, can keep doing well with her tennis, who knows? The sky's the limit on the court, off the court.
Is she the biggest draw in women's tennis right now in the world?
And then we have a big challenger after this
It's hard not to be amazed by what's happening right now, and if you enjoy this kind of coverage, make sure to subscribe because this story is only getting bigger. The real question is how a player ranked number 32 in the world, making her debut as a seeded competitor, suddenly created a wave of excitement that has the entire tennis community paying attention. Last year, the Indian Wells Open broke its attendance record with 54,268 fans visiting the Indian Wells Tennis Garden during the 15-day tournament, and that was before Alex Eala was even part of the draw or being widely talked about. Now the 19-year-old has arrived at her first WTA 1000 event as a seeded player, ranked 32nd in the world, and the tournament's own website is already describing her as one of tennis's most exciting hidden talents that many fans are only just beginning to discover.
Of course, the atmosphere in each tournament has been amazing, and it's been a different start this year than any other year I've ever had. So
sports, Alex Eala makes history in the US as the first Filipino tennis player to compete at the Indian Wells Open.
Is she the biggest draw in women's tennis right now?
Yes.
Is she bigger than Sabalenka? Is she bigger than Coco?
Dude, it's crazy. She's having the same effect that Fonseca was having on the men's side last year in Miami.
That moment has clearly passed, and what makes the situation even more interesting is the location. California is home to the largest Filipino community in the entire United States, with nearly 2 million people living there, which means the support for Alex Eala doesn't need to travel from far away because it is already nearby and ready to show up in huge numbers. As soon as she arrived at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden, fans quickly gathered with incredible excitement, catching tournament staff off guard with the size and passion of the crowd. During her very first training session on practice court 6, the scene was already intense, with people leaning over fences from nearby courts and squeezing into every available spot just to watch her, and this was not even an official match but simply a practice session before she had played a single competitive point in the tournament.
Alex Eala advances to the Dubai WTA 1000 quarterfinals. Sheila Salaysay has that story.
Hi everyone! I just wanted to come on here and thank every single one of you for your support, taking the time and effort out of your day to be there and cheer me on with the other girls. It means so much, especially at this time of the year. I couldn't thank you more, and I had such a fun time.
During a live broadcast, analysts began discussing the incredible attention surrounding Alex Eala, And one of them raised a question that quickly spread across the tennis world. Could she already be the biggest attraction in women's tennis right now? The other analyst answered without hesitation, saying that tournaments in Australia and at the Dubai Tennis Championships were so crowded that many fans could only stand, while the atmosphere during her matches was described as intense and massive. With every event she enters, the excitement keeps growing, and if that trend continues, it could push the 19-year-old star, currently ranked outside the top 30, into a level of global attention few expected so quickly. To really understand the surge happening now at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden in California, you have to look back to what happened in Dubai just 2 weeks earlier, where the pattern first became clear. After the tournament ended, director Salah Talik revealed that every match featuring Eala was completely sold out, explaining that fans were desperately searching for tickets but none were available, and he emphasized that since he began running the event in 2019, he had never seen demand like this before.
These tournaments are such great experiences for me, especially playing in front of the best crowd ever, and I do my best. I do what I can, and just if I see an opening.
So young, and she's just coming through, so and obviously the first couple rounds, the schedule is so packed.
She has more confidence, and she goes for her shots without any doubt, I would say.
This was definitely one of the bigger Filipino turnouts. Also New York was huge. It also depends what court you're on, that you feel the noise and thing.
For a tournament director with years of experience organizing events featuring world number ones, defending champions, and some of the biggest names in tennis, to say that a player ranked outside the top 30 created something completely unprecedented says a lot about the impact Alex Eala is having. While the excitement and ticket frenzy were happening off the court, she was delivering an impressive performance on it, dominating Jasmine Paolini, the world number 7 from Italy, in the round of 32 at the Dubai Tennis Championships, securing her first victory over a top 10 opponent in the 2026 season and proving that the growing attention around her is backed by serious results.
Another wonderful win for Alexandra Eala. Thank you, Jasmine, she says. Paolini gracious as ever in defeat. The former champion is out. Alexandra Eala.
This is going to go down the wire, but because of the week off from Eala, I think that she might be able to cause the upset here. And Paolini is not playing that great. And unlike the Alexandrova match in Abu Dhabi where Eala got overpowered, that's not going to be the problem here. So I'm going to go with Eala.
She then pushed deep into the quarterfinals before falling to world number 4 Coco Gauff in straight sets. The result against Gauff was lopsided 6-0, 6-2, but the journey to get there told a completely different story about where Ai's game currently sits. She arrived in California off the back of a 10-6 record for 2026, having already reached the semifinals in Auckland and the quarterfinals in Dubai. The ranking points accumulated from those runs gave her a career high of number 31, enough to break into the top 32 seedings at Indian Wells and earn a first-round bye for the first time in her career at a WTA 1000 event. That bye dropped her directly into the round of 64, where she faces Ukraine's Diana Yastrika on March 6th. They've met before at the 2025 Eastbourne Open. Eala won 6-16-2 before going all the way to the final, eventually losing to Australia's Maya Joint in a heartbreaker. Navratilova has won 18 Grand Slam singles titles. She won back-to-back women's events at Indian Wells itself at age 33 and 34. She has watched the sport evolve across 5 decades. From Chrissy Evert to Steffi Graf to Serena Williams, when she speaks about a rising player, the tennis world listens because her eye for talent is about as calibrated as it gets. Navratilova sat down with the WTA's official platform for a Sunshine Swing preview ahead of the 2026 BNP Paribas Open. And when Eala's name came up, she laughed before she even started talking. That laugh, for those who follow Navratilova closely, is not dismissive. It's the laugh of someone who recognizes something genuinely tricky to deal with. She called Eala crafty. She noted her left-handedness as a genuine tactical weapon and said she uses her variety in a way that causes problems. For a player who has built her entire career on outsmarting bigger, stronger opponents, that kind of description from Navratilova can't be taken lightly. But Navratilova didn't stop at admiration. She went straight into the honest assessment of where Eala still has work to do. And she was direct about it. The serve. That is the area she identified as Eala's biggest ceiling right now. She said Eala needs a bigger serve with more kick, music, and acknowledged that her slight build makes it physically harder to generate the kind of pace that top 10 players lean on to control matches.
Obviously not to this extent, and I think the ceiling that Alex Eala has is obviously that much higher. And I'm going to bring in a little boxing here because my dad wanted me to be a boxer, but I chose tennis. But Manny Pacquiao,
good call.
Manny Pacquiao, we saw him when he, was at the top of his game.
It also depends what court you're on, you know, that you feel the noise and things.
So the other day with Alex Eala, you know, that's been
Her exact framing was instructive. She said Eala needs to beef up a little and punch up that serve. Coming from Navratilova, that is not a criticism. That is a roadmap. She's essentially saying the raw ingredients are there. The tactical intelligence is already working at a high level and the physical development is the final piece. What can't be ignored in that assessment is what she didn't say. She didn't question Eala's shot selection. She didn't raise concerns about her movement, her mentality, or her ability to compete against elite players. She flagged one specific technical gap which tells you that in Navratilova's view, everything else is already functioning at a level worth respecting. Here is where this story gets genuinely interesting for anyone who follows the WTA closely. Navratilova's comments about Eala came in the same interview where she warned Sabalenka, Swiatek, and Gauff that the circuit is changing around them. She was explicit. Players like Eala represent a new generation that has clarity of action, knows how to study opponents tactically, and no longer walks onto the court intimidated by big names.
I'm really happy to advance to the next round. Obviously, it's not in the way I wanted it to end.
Eala is set to compete in the singles and doubles events.
Yeah, with energy like that, you don't get tired, so it was good.
And Alex, so good to have you out here for the first time. How special was that?
Having too much crowd on this or any other tennis tournament is a very good problem to have.
That is a structural shift in women's tennis, not a one-tournament storyline. The timing of Eala's Indian Wells debut makes this even more loaded. She is not just trying to win matches this week. She is entering a venue where last year she wasn't even in the draw with points she needs to defend at the Miami Open immediately after. Points earned from a stunning semi-final run in 2025 where she beat EJT and Grand Slam champions Madison Keys and Jelena Ostapenko. If her Indian Wells run falls short, the pressure heading into Miami compounds. If she goes deep here, she potentially breaks into the top 20 for the first time. Christopher Eubanks framed the crowd situation with a specific concern that cuts through the noise of the hype cycle. He pointed back to Australia where fan crowds around Eala's side courts became physically unmanageable. Mobs forming, lines stretching far beyond what the infrastructure was designed to handle. Is she the biggest draw in women's?
She's the biggest draw in women's tennis right now.
Yes.
Is she bigger than Sabalenka? Is she bigger than Coco?
Dude, it's crazy. She's having the same effect that Fonseca was having, like, on the men's side last year in Miami.
It's like Fonseca, but I think it's bigger than Fonseca.
It is, yeah, it is.
Like, the Doha, like, crowds were insane for her last week.
Yeah.
Correct.
She's definitely one to watch, obviously because she's so good, but just for the atmosphere. You want to tune into her matches just to see what it's like on the court.
It's got to be, like, a little jealousy, maybe, from some of the women. That girl's coming in, she's not top 10, biggest star in the world.
His plea to organizers was straightforward. Put her on bigger courts so the situation stays safe. That is a former ATP professional making a logistical argument about a WTA player who doesn't yet have a title to her name on the main tour. The gap between her ranking and her real-world impact has become one of the most unusual storylines in recent tennis history. Eala's path through the Indian Wells draw is genuinely compelling on paper. Win against Yaska on March 6th and a potential third-round rematch against Coco Gauff opens up. The same Gauff who beat her 6-0, 6-2 in Dubai. Beyond that, the draw puts Jasmine Pauaini, the player IA already beat in Dubai, as a possible quarterfinal opponent.
Thank you, Jasmine, she says. Paolini gracious as ever in defeat. The former champion is out. Alexandra Eala.
The bracket is not kind, but it is not impossible either. And I has already demonstrated this season that she can compete against top 10 players on big stages. Music, she is also competing in the doubles draw alongside world number 18 Eva Yoick of the United States. The same partnership that reached the semifinals in Auckland in January. Their first round doubles opponents are Latvia's Jelena Ostapenko and American Haley Baptist. Another deep doubles run alongside a singles campaign of this intensity would be a significant test of Eala's stamina across 2 weeks in the California desert. The California ticket frenzy around her debut has set a tone that the rest of the tournament will now have to manage. Whether the courts she's assigned can actually contain the volume of fans showing up is a genuine operational question, one that Indian Wells, as a venue that broke its own attendance record just last year, will be watching closely. The madness is real. The demand is verified and the tennis underneath all of it is good enough to back it up. That is the full picture of what is happening with Alex Eala at Indian Wells 2026. From the sold-out stadiums in Dubai that set this whole thing in motion to Martina Navratilova's assessment that is equal parts praise and challenge to a ticket frenzy in California that has tournament organizers genuinely rethinking their court assignments. If you made it this far, you already know this channel covers tennis the way it deserves to be covered, with real facts, honest analysis, and perspectives that go beyond the surface. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications, because Run at Indian Wells is still unfolding and we will be covering every development as it happens. Drop your prediction for how far she goes in the comments below. Quarterfinal, semifinal, or something nobody's expecting. Let's see who gets it right.